Real quick, this is how to put the wiper blade in on the door of a 77 MGB Roadster. If you've had a nice new paint job like we've got done here and replaced all the rubber, which is what we're in the process of doing right now, one of the things you want to do is probably get rid of this old wiper blade and put a new one in there. This is the outside interface from the door windows. On the inside, it's a piece of kind of a felt material that goes in on the armrest, but on the outside it's a rubber wiper. You can see here's the rubber wiper here. I've already pre-positioned some rivets in place. So first thing you want to do is make sure that all the receiving holes are clean and that they can in fact receive a rivet. I did that with a small drill bit. Now obviously when you took the old rivets out, you made some drills, you've had to drill them out, so there might be a little bit of scuffing or whatever. Just make sure that all the old rivets are out and that the holes are clear and ready to receive the size rivets that we're putting in there. So here's the rivets. These are, what's it say? Ace Hardware 1/16 by 1/8 grip range, 1/8 by 3.18 millimeters. Pretty easy little thing. They're cheap at the hardware store. So what I've done here is pre-positioned all the rivets to make sure, and I actually did run that drill through lightly just to make sure there was no loose rubber in the holes that was preventing the rivets from fitting. Because once you get in place, you don't want to have to jack with it. This material, this piece of metal stripping that's in here, it's very minor, it's very malleable, and it will bend. So the first thing you want to do is you want to pre-position your rivets, get them all lined up, and then once you get them in there, you want to straighten out that piece so that it's nice and square and straight. This is what it's going to look like when you put it in there. And if it looks like a snake, you're going to have little elbows and bends in it, and you don't want that. So that's the first thing you do. Next thing you're going to do is go ahead and set it in place. These individual rivets will be like clecos. I don't know if you're familiar with clecos, but they'll act like clecos, and they'll hold that in place while you're popping those rivets. I'll start from there once I get that in. Okay, so you can see I've got them all sitting in place there. Just to make it easier for hands-free, I've already popped one in there. When you're setting these rivets in there, make sure you push the gun firmly against the piece to make sure that there's no gaps. You want this to squeeze, because what happens is in the back here, a little seal will catch on it right on the edge of the paint, and it kind of goes over. So if you have a gap in there, then you'll create a place where moisture can get through. So as you're riveting these, just push them nice and hard. Let's see if I can do one of these with one hand. Put the rivet gun in there. No, I won't be able to do it. So you have, it's kind of a two-hand thing. You got to push really hard in there so that you have a good tight seal, and then crank the rivet gun and it will pop. Okay, then when you get them all in, that's what it looks like. Nice new rubber seal for your window. You see, if you had that nice and straight, the back side looks like straight as an arrow, and you can see that it lines up really well. Covers the paint nicely right along the edge. There you go. Done deal.